Exercise is going to be the one regarding F7 least common multiples. So when we think about least common multiples, it's kind of similar to the idea of greatest common factor, except instead of trying to find the greatest common factor, we're trying to find the smallest number that has both 4 and 6 as factors, right? So we're being told that 4 is a factor of a number and that 6 is a factor of a number. And this number will be the smallest positive integer possible that will be a multiple of both of them. We will use the same approach um, of prime factorization, and then we're going to do something slightly different. So in this case, when we look at 4, we think, oh yes, 4 is 2 squared. So any number, any multiple of 4 will have to have at least two 2's as factors. And then for 6, it's actually 2 to the 1, 3 to the 1. So it has a 2 as a factor and a 3 as a factor. And that means that any multiple of 6 will have to also have 2 as a factor and 3 as a factor. So what 4 is telling us is that this multiple, this factor, or this number that is bigger, will have two 2's. And the 6 is telling us that it will have at least one 2 and one 3. So combined together, I must have at least two 2's and one 3. Two 2's coming from the 4 and the one 3 coming from the 6, right? Because if I only had one 2, then 4 would not be a factor. If I didn't have any 3's, then 6 would not be a factor. So in this case, we're saying 2 times 2 times 3 will contain 4 and will contain 6. So in that case, that's going to be 12, and we'll go from here. So as we kind of continue down, let's take a look. What is the least common multiple of 9 and 4? Well, 9 is 3 squared, and 4 is 2 squared. So for our multiple, we'll have to have at least two 2's and two 3's. Because again, 9 and 4, they don't share any common factors other than 1. So in that case, it's going to be 36, and we'll go from there. What is the least common multiple of 2 and 4? Well, 2 says that you have to have at least one 2, and 4 says that you have to have at least two 2's, so 4 will work, because 4 is going to be divisible by 4, and 4 is also going to be divisible by 2. What is the least common multiple of 2 and 11? So 2 is saying we need at least one 2, 11 is saying we need at least one 11. So if we multiply those two together, we're looking at 22. 22 is divisible by 2, and it is divisible by 11, and is the smallest number that is divisible by both of them. Multiple of 12 and 3, well, again, we look at 3, it says I have to have at least one 3. And then 12 is saying I have to have at least two 2's and one 3, which means, hey, I'm going to use just 12 because 12 will be divisible by 12. So 12 is a multiple, right? And 12 is also divisible by 3, which means that 12 is a multiple of 3. Multiple of 6 and 5. 6 is going to be 2 times 3, so I need 1, 2, and 1, 3. And 5 is saying I need 1, 5. So I need 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 5, which is 30. All right. Least common multiple of 10 and 11. So 10 is 2 times 5. 11 is just 11. So 2 times 5 times 11, 110 will be the least common multiple. 5 and 12. Again, 12 is going to be 2 times 2 times 3, so I need two 2's and one 3 from the 12. And 5 is just prime, so I'm going to have to keep the 5 as well, which means I have two 2's, one 3, and a 5. If I multiply all of them together, I will get 60. Multiple of 15 and 10. So this is 3 times 5, so I need 1, 3, and 1, 5. And this is saying I need a 2 and a 5. So they both have 5, that's already shared in common, but now we're saying that we need a 2, a 3, and a 5, which is actually 30. We double check. 30 is divisible by 15, right? 30 divided by 15 is 2. And 30 is also divisible by 10. 30 divided by 10 is 3. So 30 in this case is the least, so it's the smallest multiple that is shared in common by 10 and 15. So as we go on from here, this one, we look at 18, that's 2 times 3 times 3, that's 18, and 5 is prime. So what we're saying is that we need 1 2, two 3's, and 1 5. So 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 If we multiply all that together, we're going to get 90. 9 and 7, this is 2 3s, 1 7. So 3 times 3 times 7, this is just 7 times 9, right? 7 9 63, right? What is the least common multiple of 5 and 19? Well, 5 is prime, so we need at least one 5. 19 is also prime, so we need at least one 19. 19 times 5 is 95, all right? Multiple of 7 and 10. Well, 7 is just 7, and 10, the prime factorization, is 2 and 5. So I have to have 1 2, 1 5, and 1 7. So I multiply them all together, and I will get 70 is my least common multiple. 15 and 8. All right, when we look at 15 and we look at 8, 15 is 3 times 5, 8 is 2 cubed. So 8 is saying I had to have 3 2's. And 15 is like, okay, but I also have to have a 3 and a 5. So the least common multiple will have 3 2's, a 3, and a 5. So we multiply all of these together, and what do we get? Well, we do 1 times 8 is going to be 80, 5 times 8 is 40, so 120, all right? What is the least common multiple of 4, 12, and 6? So now we're looking for 3 basically numbers, and we're looking at what number will be evenly divisible by 4, by 12, and by 6. So 4 says I need at least 2 2's, so we'll keep that in mind, 2 2's. 12 says we need 2 2's and a 3. We're like, okay, 2 2's and a 3, so that's just 12, right? And then 6 says I need a 2 and a 3. So ultimately we say, oh yeah, 2 2's and a 3 will work because the 2 2's will mean it's divisible by 4. The 2 2's and a 3 means that it's divisible by 12. And then the 2 and the 3 means that it's divisible by 6. So we're going to go ahead and go with 12. All right? Least common multiple of these numbers, right? In the future, we can begin to go faster, right? And this is just recognition that 12 is going to be including all the needs of 2. So we just have to worry about 12 and 5 together, and that's going to be 60, right? 2 2's, 1 3, 1 5. When we look at all these numbers, right, 8 needs 3 2's. This is only 2 2's, and this is 1 2. So we need 3 2's, 1 3, and 1 7. So how do we multiply this together? We need 3 2's, right? That's given by 8. 1 3 and 1 7. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 times 8 is going to give us, what is that, 168. So lucky number there, right? When we go on from here, least common multiple, 7, 4, and 12. We're looking at, well, 12 will include all the needs of 4, right? Because 2 2's and 1 3. And then we'd also need a 7. So 7 times 12 should be 84. Yep, and then over here, we're looking at this. So I need 2 3's, 1 3, and 1 2, and then 2 2's. So basically, I'm saying I need 2 2's and 2 3's. So that's going to be 36. And then over here, I'm saying 1 2, 2 3's. Okay, got that memorized. This is saying 1 2 and 1 3. So I don't even have to worry about it because 18, as long as I satisfy 18, I'll satisfy the 6. But then 16 is interesting because it's saying I need 4 2's, right? 2 to the 4 equals 16. So I need 4 2's and then 2 3's. So 16 times 9 is going to be the answer there. So that's going to be 144, right? We can actually multiply it by 2 parts if we wanted to multiply by 9. So 1 times 9 is, or the 10 times 9 is 90, and 6 times 9 is 54. 694, right? And then when you add 90 plus 54, you get 144. Notice that this is the same as 12 times 12. Least common multiple of these, right? So I'm looking over here. This will satisfy all the needs of the 3, so I don't even worry about that. This is 2 2's, 1 3. This is 1 2 and 1 5. So all I need to do is worry about adding another 5 in here. So 2 2's, 1 3, 1 5. That's going to give me 60. 60 is divisible by 3. It's divisible by 12. It's divisible by 10. And it's the smallest number divisible by all of them. Right? So as we continue, over here, 15, I'm just going to multiply by 7, so 105. 6, 18, and 10, right? I know that all the needs of 6 are embedded inside 18, right? Because 6 is 1, 2, 1, 3. This is 2, 1, 2, and 2 3's. And this is 1, 2, and 1, 5. So essentially all I'm saying is I must have 1, 2, 2 3's, and 1, 5. If I multiply those out, I will get 90. Over here, we're looking at two twos, and then a 3 here, a 5 here. So basically saying 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 5, and then 2 twos. What number will be able to be divided by each one of these, right? Not at the same time, but individually, one at a time. So we're saying, okay, we need 2 twos, 1, 3, and 1, 5. So 2 twos is going to be 4, a 3 and a 5 is going to be 15. 4 times 15 is 60. The least common multiple of these numbers, right? This is something that we should be familiar with by now. X-ray vision will show us that the 3 won't be necessary, the 6 as 1, 2, 1, 3, but the 4 requires 2 twos and the 9 requires 2 threes. So we're just saying 2 twos and 2 threes. That's going to give us 36. The least common multiple of these 4 numbers, right? 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 5, and then 3 twos. So I'm going to say I need 3 twos, 1, 3, and 1, 5. So 3 twos is 8. 1, 3 will make it up to 24, and then 1, 5 will carry us all the way up to 120. So there we go. The least common multiple of all of these numbers, I'm going to hone in. I'm going to say I need 3 twos, 1, 3, and 1, 5, just as we did last time. So 3 twos, 1, 3 gives us 24 times 5 is 120. So same as the last one. And then lastly, this is the final one. So it says I need 1, 7, 1, 2, 3 twos, 2 twos. So basically I will need 3 twos and 1, 7, 7, 56, and then we're done. Okay? So Dynamite, great job, and now you know how to actually do this.